All right, big homie CC, how's it going?
What's the word, Cam? We back at it. Let's get to it.
Yeah, glad to have you on Cam Capone News, man. Lots going on.
Yeah. I want to make a quick announcement. People always ask how we able to go on operations and accomplish retrievals and stuff like that. Today I got my left hand man Nick right here, Marine. Introduce yourself, brother.
2nd Battalion, 3rd Marine, out of K-Bay, GWAT, Trench Baby. You know, we were over there during Afghanistan. I was in from 2008 to 2013. And yeah, I mean, just a normal grunt, man. U.S. Marine. I'm no Navy SEAL. I'm no tip of the spear guy, but man, I was there. I was over there. I saw what was going on.
For sure. Yes, sir. We working. What you got for us, Cam?
Okay, that's what it is. Well, I think I was going to start at some of the news that I seen, man. I seen you post about Kevin Gates.
Right. What you seen me post? What happened? What's going on with that?
He was in your DMs and he was pretty pissed.
Yeah, I was on this path. I ruffled feathers. And, I just told my truth, my story from my perspective. You got caught up in that. That's between you and God. So those inboxes between him and my one of my close homies, I ain't gonna say his name because I don't want to get him in too much hot water. But he was reaching out to people that I was moving around with, telling them he was frustrated and upset with some of the things that I revealed. But I don't embellish or invent. Everything is facts. So it is what it is, Cal. He was pissed off. But you saw that video of him in the ocean.
In the where?
He was in the ocean. He was complaining about people making accusations, and he said, "Name one man who put his penis inside of him." You feel me? Like, why you gotta make a video like that? Like, what's going on with you? Like, watch your activities. You feel me? It's a zest apocalypse going on right now. So I'm just trying to stand on business and protect women and children and remove the veil of secrecy when it comes to the industry. It is what it is. If he wasn't being zesty, I wouldn't know about it. Oh no. Hey, shout out my boy Chima, shout out CEO Tate. He was locked up with him. One of the ghoulas was locked up with dudes, so I'll bring him in for an interview next. We can get to that. The boogeyman outside, though. Hold on.
Were you surprised when you found out how mad he was?
You see how Dwight Howard was? People be in my inbox voicing their frustrations. I invite anybody to come outside and link if they got a problem. I'm not surprised. I mean, I just feel like this. If you got a problem with it, come out and dispute me. Have you seen anybody who I spoke about come out and dispute me?
Not publicly, no.
We're not hiding.
We're not hiding. Somebody behind the scenes did? Hold on. Jaleel White didn't send you a cease and desist for me. He sent it for Orlando Brown.
Right.
You ain't got no cease and desist. You haven't got sued. Pierce Morgan haven't got sued. And we seen him get sued before when certain people went on there. He didn't get sued because of me. And people said I was lying, but then they see me listed in a Diddy indictment, so.
That's wild.
What else I gotta do? Like, what else do I gotta do?
Well, one person who used to do a lot of exposing that, we don't hear from as much as we used to is Jaguar Wright. You guys still talking? What's your guys' relationship like now?
Me and Jaguar cool. I consider her a big sis. Some of the people who I introduced her to, like over in the UK, like Sean Atwood, Beverly Rhodes, Ron Antonio, she had a falling out with them. She haven't said nothing about me or to me. Her and I were supposed to do a show together and drop it on Cam Capone News. Remember the first episode we did?
Yep.
It did good, right?
Yep.
So me and her, we gonna double back on that. We gonna double back on that. You cool with that?
Yeah.
Say less. Shout out Jaguar. You know, Jaguar, somebody I trust. She give me a lot of good information, ways to stay safe spiritually and stuff like that. You know, I got no problems with Jaguar. That's the homie for sure. But things be getting a little tricky with her.
Didn't you big her up?
I big her up for sure. And certain people reached out to me saying she was saying certain shit. But like, you know, I don't match women energy, bro. I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like Jaguar know I'm in her corner, like I know she in my corner. And a lot of times people do things for content. And unfortunately. So it's kind of like, just like people be hitting you up saying, I want to address something, right? Didn't somebody hit you up saying that they was my manager?
Yes, somebody did. Yep, or your former manager.
Right. And you met my manager, Brian, before, right?
Yes.
When you met me, did I have a manager?
No, not that I know of.
Did I have any management reach out to you?
Nope.
Right. So you know, like I've been seeing him reaching out to people. This is my business partner. We had a little dog breeding business together. We would do business together. I had him move down and come to the base of operations. I don't even want to do this because he just recently got married. This is somebody I was always cool with. But I see him doing things, and what I realized is everybody not happy for me because
That's a hard lesson.
hard lesson, bro. He was a person who I trusted, you know what I'm saying? But like when you had showed me that, I ain't had no contacts in, and I didn't see the name and shit like that. But he changed his Instagram name. This the thing with this dude. Like, damn, I don't even want to do it. But I know how this internet works. And a lot of people are upset that, you know, ain't nobody come out saying, oh, he don't protect women, he beat me up. Ain't nobody do that. Having nobody play with me, like when the two California dudes did, we dominated them. I'm just gonna say this about this dude. I don't even want to do it to him. I don't want to put his business out there. But I see how a lot of people is trying to trade on me right now because they jealous. But, you know, we combat zest monsters. We don't like people who do lascivious activities on people and force it on them. You know, when I met this dude, me and the guys having shootouts every day. You know, his name's Soul to God on Instagram. SOLETHAGOD, I believe. Now, listen to this. We had a dog breeding business. Me, him, and another partner, KG. KG died in a racing accident, racing cars. So I tell this dude, I said, look, bro, we get in the crib in Vegas. All the members gonna be there. It's gonna be our base of operations, right? Bet. The man moved down and he get a job. He get a job at this restaurant, Egg Slut. Pause. Listen to this, folks. I swear to God, only insane on my granny. If I'm lying, I'm flying. The man moved down to Vegas. We doing business, shit going smooth. But he would always be with this Korean dude from his job. So one day, we at the crib, we got a big crib, swimming pool. You know, we be partying all night. He show up to the crib. Fool, he get there. He said, BH, I ain't talk to you. He got like a robot voice. He say, the unthinkable has happened. I'm like, what you mean unthinkable? What's going on? He violated me. Kyle violated me. So I'm thinking like, man, he probably talking crazy about it on the internet, something like that. I'm like, man, send me his page, because with this dude, like he was an investor for the team, but he like a coward. Like his mama said he was soft, like my mama said he was soft. Like we was trying to like be smooth with him. Like I didn't talk him off the ledge, committed suicide several times. He out in Vegas. He drive like an hour out. His ex-girlfriend called me. Johnny say he's gonna kill himself. His name Johnny Lopez. He's gonna kill himself. Talk him off the ledge. So fast forward, he comes, he gotta talk to me. He say, dude violated him. I'm thinking it's some internet shit. But I noticed his walk was kind of crazy. So I'm like, what you mean? How he violated you? He made a post and said, no. My manhood.
Oh, come on, man.
I'm looking like, what are you talking about? He started explaining to me how him and dude was in the car and they was hotboxing in the car. Then he said things got a little out of hand and dude violated him. I'm like, but you gotta explain to what's going on. Like, we protect our members. The man said they were sitting in the back seat, they smoking, and dude reached for his crotch. And then he said, one thing, his exact words was, one thing led to another. Then things got out of hand. So I'm like, what you mean things got out of hand, Johnny? He pretty much say, dude took his cakes. Now for me, we don't play about things like this, male or female, you know what I'm saying? But for him, it's like, man, bro, like, how did this even happen? Why was you in the back seat with him? Like, why is two men in the back seat of a car together? Like, what's going on? Like, why is y'all doing that? He go on, the way he was walking, he starts saying his manhood got took from him, he got violated. Like, I don't mean to laugh, but hit a situation. After this situation happened, he don't stick up for himself. He keep going to work with the same dude.
Oof.
And then he started trying to do little stuff in the crib. I'm like, man, bro, how you trying to demand respect in the crib amongst the guys? You in here with the insanes, bro. But you didn't demand respect with dude was. How you a grown man? How you get violated in the back seat of your own car?
Let that happen.
Some man's supposed to be in the back seat of cars in the police car.
Facts.
He said they was hotboxers.
Yeah.
They had the heat on in the front seat.
One thing led to another. Come on.
He said that's what he said. So I'm looking like, yo. So his ex-girlfriend called me and said, yeah, Johnny said he's gonna kill himself and all this type of activity. So when I see him trying to be tough with the guys, I'm like, bro, you trying to be tough with the guys now, bro? Like, and I know what I know about you. So then I just finessed him and took him for everything. You feel me? And treated him like a goofy and moved him around. So, you know, I just wanted to address that. It's just kind of like, bro, this is somebody that I stuck up for several times, you know, because like his mom said he was a coward. And he put his hands on his mama in a fist fight before. So it's like, dude, like when she tells me that, the man was so scared of his coworker who took his cakes, he got my 64-year-old mama taking him to work and picking him up.
Down bad.
The man was never my manager. He never booked anything. We had a dog breeding business. And hit a thing. I do the song with Slim 400. He tried to pay Slim 400 for the feature in crypto. Slim in there with all the pyros. Slim screaming and I'm talking to him like a goofy. He said, man, this ain't the right business for him. He cried in the studio. Studio 77 in Las Vegas. The man cried in there. Rest in peace, Slim 400. You feel me?
Yeah, R.I.P.
So I seen that, and then some other people hit me up saying, he was saying like, yeah, BH is crazy. I'm his former manager. It was never my manager, man. We had a dog breeding business. We was doing business together. And after he got his case took by his friend,
Pause.
I'm like, Paul, I just felt like they was in a relationship and he didn't want to admit what happened. So right after that, he rushed to get married.
He rushed to get married.
Yeah, he go get married to illegal immigrant.
Try to put it right in your face.
Facts. I'm like, damn, bro, like, why would you try to come to the internet and play with me and you know what I know about you? So I just wanted to address that because people keep hitting me up about it. It's not really nothing. Yeah, like, I pray for food. So why is two men in the back seat together in a car? Would you do that, Cam?
No.
That's what happened though. So I'm just gonna address that because I seen that and I wasn't really paying attention to it, but some other platforms hit me up asking me about it. A lot of people is jealous of me right now. Like they mad. Like, but that ain't the way to go about it. So no. The Korean dude was rough, I guess.
Oh man.
Why is y'all in the back seat together? Like, and this happened like during the daytime. We in the backyard barbecuing in the pool. He in the front of the crib.
What did you think you were gonna do about it? Why did he even come to you?
Bro, I just came and defended him in several situations.
Oh, gotcha.
So I'm like, do you want to do something about this? Shit, man. He said he was gonna handle it himself. But then I seen him and dude together later after that. So he was never my manager. You feel me? Like we was doing some business. But once he played, he got took for everything. It is what it is. So I'm still insane. Shout out to the guys. We're gonna leave it at that. Oh no. Stupid man.
All right, well, you know, things been kind of wild over here on the West Coast, man. You got this new guy, King Pill, who's been, you know, kicking up a lot of dust, going viral, man. And one of the things he did is he actually went and filmed a music video in 4Extra's hood. Now, he's been calling 4Extra out for a fade. He's been, ever since 4Extra even was in jail, when he came out, he was calling him out. And 4Extra says he doesn't want to do it. It's not really a celebrity boxing match, so King Pill ended up shooting a music video in his hood.
Who's to blame for this? Who you think to blame for this?
I'm gonna go with King Pill.
No, it's Agent 22. Here's the thing, bro. Adam signed them to a deal to do bare knuckle boxing. 4Extra was in jail because you know every 7 or 8 months, Adam got to recycle his staff. People either leave or they go to jail. So shout out King Pill though. First time me seeing him is on your channel. I feel like this is just Adam up to his normal shenanigans. King Pill, I made calls about this. Like motherfuckers say he was really running to Hatchapee. Like, I don't really know what that is, but they say, man, he had the keys for his group into Hatchapee prison. They say he was running, he had the keys, he was running it right. But Adam promised him a celebrity boxing match. It was supposed to be what to do 4Extra. All of this type of weird activity where guys go on different hoods, it all lead back to Adam. See, people don't understand something like, Adam's real name is Adam Graham Mason.
Oh.
His father, shout out Brian Cooper for this intel, his father is a master mason, 33rd degree. His father also got a presidential pardon from the Bush administration for committing illicit crimes.
Damn, he's deep.
So I made accusations that his platform is used by 3 other agencies to dumb down the population. And this is why I said that, because if he's not involved, King Pill is not going to the 40s, shooting music videos. And you know, King Pill cool with my homie Bonta G Uno, you know what I'm saying? So if you cool with G Uno, you cool with me. So, you know, shout out King Pill. He's also King Pillatin. Shout out King Pill. At the end of the day, controversy seems to sell. And at that platform, is what they specialize in. If Adam's not involved, King Pill is not going over there, G Uno's not involved, and there's no controversy. At the end of the day, there's an initiative going on based around that platform to cause confusion and destruction in the hip hop community, and it's being successful.
Yeah, G Uno was there also. And Flame were also.
Shout out 500 Flame. Shout out G Uno. These are my guys. Like, I'm cool with them. So it's kind of like they're very serious men. So for them to be there, you know, they standing with their homie. And King Pill ain't no joke. He ain't nobody that's playing around. And a lot of people vouch for his jail stories, unlike the other guys. So at the end of the day, without Adam being involved, King Pill not going down into the 40s. King Pill trying to get him a fight. That's what he do. He fight. And if dude fight, how come we not seeing no matchups happen? A lot of internet whooping and talking, but ain't nobody linking up. They talked all that shit, and when I seen motherfuckers, they wasn't on nothing. So we was gonna take it all away, but you know, they said it was just for content. It is what it is, bro. At the end of the day, without Agent 22, none of this is happening. Period, bro. They worship dude out there, so I guess he run Cali or something. But I'm not involved in it, bro. Like I remove myself from all of that because like a fight is easy. We can link up, throw hands, and have a beer together. They ain't on that. Without Agent 22, King Pill not even going over there. But I guess he above they politics out there because nobody check him. So in Chicago, it ain't like that though. We kill our greats. For sure. Look at Zach TV. If he was in Chicago playing like that, he would have been smoked, bro. Greg. You know, I don't see Cam doing this type of activity. And dude stealing your questions to ask me. It ain't suspicious to nobody that the interview I did with Cam that went viral, my first interview ever go viral. Cam say, BH, I think no jumper interview would probably do $1 million in a day. You said that to me, right or wrong?
Yeah.
We get to the interview, he asked me no questions that made me go viral. That ain't suspicious? He take your questions off your community post to ask them to me. That ain't crazy to you?
I don't know what their vision for the interview was. I don't know.
If you see me doing millions on cam, you should probably ask the same question. No, they're not gonna do that because that platform is complicit with the nefarious activities that's taking place. Point blank, period. Oh no.
Well, we might have learned the actual root cause of the 50 Cent and Diddy drama, because 50 Cent's first baby's mom came out and said that
Trying to get a bag.
50 Cent actually smashed Diddy's baby's mom, Misa, like 20 years ago.
Right. Like I always say, in that industry, everybody bangs each other. Male on male, lady on lady. And they all pass the ladies around and they all pass the guys around. You feel me? So like, you know, I've been saying it and now it's all coming to light. At the end of the day, a man's job is to be a leader, a calm, collected leader, a protector, and a provider. And if a lady is in love with you, she might let you run her through the ringer. If he would have paid her out, you know, she giving blowjobs to guys like the Punisher. Man named the Punisher, you feel me? She letting, in the documents, it say when the male sex worker ejaculated, it was on her and Diddy. And then she's taking the semen and rubbing it on his nipples, on Diddy's nipples. Nobody got a problem with that. If he would have paid her out, none of this happens. She had to sue him to get paid. She sued him, she got 30 million from him, another 10 million from the hotel. You think her husband wasn't like, look, sweetheart, we finna score, like, you feel me? We finna score. At the end of the day, this is what happens. I feel like a lot of guys get to a position of power and they oppress people. That's why Smokey Robinson going through the problem he's going through. And you can ask anybody around me, like a lot of celebrities don't like to pay. And now me being famous, now I get so much shit for free. It's like, damn, this kind of backwards. You should probably have the celebrity rich motherfucker pay. No, they don't play it like that. So they make promises to people and these people look up like, damn, I done ran through, I'm used up and I ain't get paid out. Well, they finna sue you now. That's all this is about. That's how it goes. That's all this is about right now. Period. Phone now.
Well, you mentioned Cassie's husband. You know, what do you think he thinks about all this stuff that he's having to see and hear about in court?
He knew about all of this stuff. He probably didn't know the intricate details.
That's gotta be a rough.
The lady that he on there commenting on Diddy's page, calling him fruity, and then the paperwork come out. She volunteered for the freak off. Why have a wife?
Imagine hearing that.
Why would you have a wife and then you got other men urinating in her mouth? Like, what is that even about? That's what happens when the loser, goofy guys get money. They was never a boss. They never was a real leader.
Beta.
Super beta male activity. Now they want everybody to get humiliated, and they want to be able to hold that against them. Because he really a Scientology person. Because that's people I've been going against for years. So when it comes down to it, he had his own version of auditing. His version of auditing was you got people, you provide the situation, the ambiance, you get people in precarious situations, and you got the footage. Why is it that in the Tory Lanez case, when the bodyguard went AWOL, nobody said anything? But Nipsey Hussle case, a witness go AWOL, he get a warrant for his arrest. In the Diddy case, the guy who provided, the sex worker who gave TMZ some of the freak-off footage, he goes AWOL, no warrant for his arrest. Why are they protecting some of the celebrities on that list? The Epstein list and the Diddy list is almost one and the same. I know Bieber was there. I know Chris Brown was there. I know DiCaprio was there. None of them is listed in the paperwork. How come Tony Busby said he had all of those witnesses, and all of a sudden he don't got them no more? When the fix is in, the fix is in. You know, the truth is stranger than fiction, bro. The fact of the matter is there is an active conspiracy going on in this country to protect the oppressors of women and to protect the oppressors of child. The facts are the fact. That's why me and my team, that's why I'm introducing y'all to Nick today, because that's how we able to do this. Like, this ain't no fly-by-night operation. You know, it's real serious people involved in this. If we get a call, we gonna come and see about it. For sure. Phone them.
What do you think will happen to all the people who hated on Diddy or testified against him if he actually gets found innocent?
He's not gonna get found innocent because he only has to be guilty of one charge to get a mandatory sentence. And
Probably end up taking a plea, dude.
yep, they offered him a plea for 15 years. The problem is they warned him about trying to intimidate jurors. And then they removed one juror who they felt was compromised from a black male to a white male that was more clear about his residency. The problem with the whole situation is the moment Diddy sued Diageo, the company that owns Ciroc, the paramount of this problem started because that's the company who got CNN to put out that 10-year-old video. And I said in the previous Cam Capone interview, whenever I get someplace with a celebrity, I go and I find out who the head of security is in the building. Who gave them the video? The head of security. He got paid by Diddy and then he got paid by CNN again. So if you want to know the facts, you got to come to Cam Capone News. I'm going to give you the facts. Everything that I've said about this has been proven to be correct. Facts.
Did you know that CNN is in trouble because they altered the video? So look. When I seen that they altered the video, I couldn't help but to think like, how, right?
Right.
I didn't think too much about it, but then when it got released to the public, the one from the trial, I'm watching it, and I couldn't help but to think like, this doesn't look as bad. I remember it. Like, I remember it looking much worse, and I couldn't like put my finger on like, why does this not look as bad? Well, when you watch the original, they sped it up. So when Puffy's grabbing her, it looks like he's grabbing her like 10 times harder than what he's actually grabbing her. It looks like he's kicking her 10 times harder than what he's actually kicking her.
He shouldn't be grabbing her in the first place. He shouldn't be kicking her in the first place. It don't matter how fast they sped it up. That's the whole thing.
Hold on. Let me finish, bro. I mean, you're right. He shouldn't be kicking her. He shouldn't be hitting her. But you can't alter no video to make it look worse.
That's a fact.
Yes,
that's
you can.
That's a lawsuit and a half. If Diddy beats this case, he's gonna sue CNN for $1 billion, bro, and he will win.
He thought he bought the only copy of the video.
Okay, that don't have nothing to do with them. That's irrelevant to what I'm saying, bro.
So you said that the footage that was shown was sped up to make him look more aggressive.
Yes, absolutely.
Did he stomp on her head or not?
Did he what? Did he hit her? Yeah, he hit her.
Did he slam her on the ground or not?
Yeah.
Did he put his foot on her head or not?
Yes, but you can't change the footage to make it look worse, bro.
Yes, you can if
No, you can't, bro.
in this country it's been shown over and over they manipulate the scene. Wall Street Journal pulls out an article and says that, oh, we're not hiding UFO information. We gave the public this information to hide secret technology. Why is it that Donald Trump files a $1 billion lawsuit against CNN, the New York Times, for this same exact thing? Here's the situation. If you are portraying to the people that you own this, and you don't, if you think you're bigger than the program, they're gonna humble you because they own all of this. This is why this guy went and got Revolt TV. That was his baby. He went and got Revolt TV for this exact same reason. He knew that the fix would be in if he ever came in under scrutiny. He knew the risk factors involved. He still attempted to continue on what he was doing. Cassie didn't put out that tape. CNN put out the tape. Who told CNN who gave CNN the footage?
Doesn't matter.
In our culture, they put the court jester out to show people this is what money looks like. Unfortunately, every company he signed to has a board of directors, six or seven people that are a lot more wealthy than him. He thought he was bigger than the program, and he paid the consequences for it. No matter how they edit the footage, a man should not be grabbing a woman physically or violently or kicking or stomping her. No matter how you, because that was my sister, it wouldn't be no more Diddy. It wouldn't be no more albums or nothing. It'd be, he was a good man. That's what you would see. Facts. It don't matter how they edited the footage. There's no remorse for a boss, Cam. Do you get remorse, Cam? Everybody know you a boss.
But that's not the.
Yeah, it's not the point he's trying to say. I think they might be able to throw out the video.
It's about defamation, bro. It's defamation of character, man.
Why are we talking about defamation when a grown man is stomping a female in the hallway at a hotel? No matter how you try to play the footage, he still did. So you saying he didn't kick her?
Let me ask you something. Why not just put the footage out the way it was without altering it? Why not? Why go out of your way to make it look worse?
The same reason why when I go live on my YouTube channel, it's 12,000 people watching it because I'm telling them the hard, uncut truth about things. Everybody knows that modern media is compromised. That's why right here I'm sitting on this camera and talking to you at the Cam Capone News channel, because people don't trust everything that come on the television. They're gonna come here for it. Point blank, period. If he don't put himself in that situation and you pay this lady out for all of the sexcapades you took her on, because they all swinger parties, he could have avoided this. Point blank, period. There's never an excuse for his activity, no matter how much they speed it up, what anybody want to say. If he don't do it, this don't happen. There are plenty of ladies in this country. If you pay them, you can do whatever you want to do. These guys want power and dominion, so they go get people this don't happen to, and then they force that on them. It's called a trauma bond. I get a call for a retrieval. The lady might yell and scream because four of them got a pimp in the headlock. We don't take calls like that though, because of that same reason. That's why we actually try to protect the innocent. At the end of the day, I understand what you're saying, but in the black male populace, we need to shame this type of activity, because I remember being a younger guy, they got R. Kelly coming to the family gathering, and I'm like, man, f*** this nigga. Look at him now.
Let me say something, bro. Diddy has absolutely been shamed, and there is no excuse for that type of behavior. I'm just simply saying, even though you do something bad, that don't mean that people can say it was actually worse than what it was. You know what I'm saying? You can't.
That's the price you pay being in modern media.
You can't shoot somebody in the leg and the media goes, hey, he killed somebody, he shot him in the head. No. That would be fake news. That'd be defamation.
So are you saying the video is fake news?
I was saying that what happened, how bad it was fake news. Yeah, because it wasn't as bad as they presented. Let me ask you something. If it wasn't that bad, if what they did wasn't wrong, why did CNN delete the footage? They deleted the original video. They don't have it no more.
Right.
Because they know they f***ed up. That's just my opinion, bro.
No. You got a very valid opinion. What I'm saying is, how do you prevent this?
Well, you just put the footage out the way it comes to you.
No, you don't do the bullshit.
Well, I wasn't talking about it from a Diddy point. I was talking about it from a CNN point. But of course. Bro,
what's CNN's job?
Look, man, Diddy got what he deserved, bro.
But,
you know what I'm saying? Like, there's no mistaking, bro. Him put that video coming out, Diddy deserved every bit of humiliation and shame that he got, for sure.
He's just saying Diddy's lawyer is going to take advantage of that.
Sensationalism is the modern media's job. I expect that from them. Why wouldn't he? And then at the same time, let's backtrack. When Wendy Williams tried to out him years ago, he made phone calls and almost ended her career. If she would have got her hands on that video, what would she have done? Sped it up to make him look as bad as possible. That's just the nature of the business, the nature of the beast. At the end of the day, he should have more self-control and more wherewithal not to put himself in that position. Because if you got a sister and you found out that some rich dude was pissing on her, you probably not finna care what she got to say. Right or wrong?
Oh, for sure.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we got to stop making excuses for guys who put themselves in precarious situations and now they want somebody to feel sorry for them. No, sir, brother. I see what you're saying, though. I see you on your journalist shit, though, Cam. I salute you. Hey, I see you, Cam.
For sure. You know, there's one person that I recently found out that used to be around. I don't know if he used to bodyguard for him, but his name was Carl's Boozer.
Yeah, so here's the thing with that. So the dude Coffee who came on Real Life trying to play with me, like, a lot of guys don't like me, Ken, because I picked on them. You feel me? So the dude Coffee had Carlos Boozer watch, but Carlos Boozer beat up my homegirl. So when he did that, she had her own money.
Real quick, who's Carl's Boozer?
Carlos Boozer, he played for the Chicago Bulls. He's a power forward. He's he known for putting the Beijing dyeing his head. You know what the Beijing is?
No, I don't.
Like when guys dye their hair not to look bald.
Oh, okay.
Right. So he had beat up my homegirl. So whenever you see a pro athlete with a broken hand, like the day before the game, they got into it with their girlfriend and punched the wall. I've seen it 100 times. So once he did that, you feel me? He put his hands on my homegirl. So she set the cheese. We went and got up with Coffee because you can't reach Carlos like that. We got up with Coffee, took the watch from him. It ended up being Carlos Boozer watch. It's a Hublot Big Bang. Ooh. So we got the watch. He called folks in their phone, you feel me? He paid to get his watch back, you know what I'm saying? So the dude Coffee was mad about that, but hey, I'm gonna give you some inside information. It was this girl in Chicago, she set up D Rose to try to get a lawsuit, right? Coffee paid for all of her legal fees. The lawsuit ended up getting thrown out. So when the lawsuit got thrown out, Coffee got left in the dark. He was a target for people. I guess him and the Wack dude was cool, but shit, Wack said he hit him up. That's what Wack said to me. So it's kind of like, I done picked on so many of these guys, like the only way they can play with me is on the internet. And we see the outcome of that. We push right back up on them again. You feel me? He had to bow down. And he said the video of him saying my name was AI. On Insane. He said it was AI. Get your bitch ass on. At the end of the day, bro, like, that's why I don't do security for like a lot of pro athletes no more, because none of them respect females. And that's crazy to me. We all come from a female. We all come from a woman. With no ladies, there's no life. But you go to their section in the club, they box all the girls out. Man, what the? But now you see how Diddy be touching everybody's cakes. Like, this they culture, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, I want people to know, like, this shit ain't what y'all think it is. You gotta understand something. Whenever you in a situation where the guys with money feel like everybody owe them something and they view the ladies like a piece of meat, it's gonna get bad. Because if I get the call, you know, I'm coming to press everybody. I don't care what team you play for, how many points you scored. That belt don't discriminate. And I got a long belt, fold up. That bitch reach on insane. Shout out to the guy, Double C, Double G. This game Capone news.
What do you think about not one person testifying that Diddy actually had sex with a man during the trial?
Boy, we heard witnesses say the dude named the Punisher would ejaculate on Diddy and Cassie at the same time, and then she would take the semen and rub it on his nipples. That's enough for me, Joe. You feel me? Like, oh, well, I don't gotta hear no more explicit details, because we know what happened. We know what happened, bro. Like, a lot of witnesses didn't show up. You feel me? They're always trying to hit them with witness tampering as it is, and there's still more witnesses coming, so.
I thought that was kind of crazy. I mean, I think everybody expected to hear about more of that type of activity.
Diddy's a rich guy.
The guy Lil Rod's case is still ongoing. They threw out some of the charges, but the rest of them still sticking. If they convey this information, then they have to convey other information. Because there's a lot of names that I know that was present for some of these freak-offs that they not releasing. That's a fact. The fix is in, man. This shit bigger than all of us. This shit bigger than what we think it is. The guy Jeffries from Abercrombie got hit with the same charges as Diddy, and now he is finna get off because they said he's not fit to stand trial. He's out of his mind now. Diddy is not throwing people under the bus because Jeffries didn't have to. The human trafficking division in our country is a small unit. That's why you see a raid here, they arrested here. A month later, they arrested here. This is why. The same reason why the Epstein files have not been declassified is the same reason why this case, a lot of things not coming to light. That's a fact. They have to protect certain people. Why do you think Bill Gates is lobbying Congress to not release the Epstein files? Why do you think that none of Diddy's friends who we've seen kicking it with him all these years have come out to speak publicly defending him? Why is that? It's the same thing, bro. It's a conspiracy.
Well, I heard that you were trying to squash the beef between Lavish D and King Yella.
Shout out Lavish D. Yeah, bro, shout out King Yella. A lot of guys like the internet goofy guys, they wouldn't know that me and Lavish D locked in like that. They wouldn't know that me and him be in the field like that. And Lavish D a real gangster, bro. Like, the way he carry himself and move around, it's like I'm with the Goulas. That's my real brother. So it's kind of like, this some inside information, you feel me? Like, FBG Doug and FBG Brick and Lavish D was doing some business. The business ain't go right. So, you know, Lavish D felt like that shit could have been handled different. So, remember in the interview I did on Capone with King Yella? I'm calling Lavish D trying to get him on there because, like, that's my real brother. When we outside in the field, we protect each other. But, like, fool, he come outside in that paint. Because if I go out and kick it, I'm in after hours, I'm in the trenches. If I call fool, he pulling right up, you know what I'm saying? And he showed me some real activity. So I make sure whenever his name get brought up, you know what I'm saying, I give him an opportunity to speak for himself. So people be offering me a lot of movie deals and shit like that. So for the sake of pull off the deal, I'm trying to get Yella and Lavish D on the same page. After the interview, I get a call, man, saying my name. I call folks. I tell them what's going on. They both frustrated with each other. So I'm working behind the scenes to get them on the phone. I got them in a group chat, and then we finna make the conversation happen. That next morning, folks get locked up, free King Yella. So it'd be a lot of things taking place behind the scenes that I'd be involved in, and people wouldn't know that. Because like sometime on the internet, like the keyboard warriors think they in the streets, but they not. The fact of the matter is, like the monsters all know each other. So I felt like if I could show the world that these two real gangsters can get along in a public setting, that could be used to show the youth that, man, we don't gotta use violence to solve everything. We can use our brains and mediate situations. So King Yella be back soon. I'm gonna have Lavish D call you. We trying to work that out, man. We trying to do a short film series, drop a Hellcat Capone news and feed the streets. But I'm working on that, bro, because Lavish D is a solid member, you know what I'm saying? I'm still working on him and trying to get him to change some of his career paths, you know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, you know how Yella is, bro. He's not as diplomatic as you would think, but man, Lavish D diplomatic, but he's a solid dude. So I was trying to get that shit worked out so we can get some money and show a real sense of unity. It's coming soon. It's coming soon. Matter of fact, I'm gonna try to get him. I'm gonna take him so I can get him to join the get on the phone for a second. You cool with Lavish D?
Yeah.
That's my boy. Shout out CM now. Shout out Lavish D. My boy Heavyweight Hank. Free King Yella. Cause man, you know him. Rest in peace, Duck. Rest in peace, Brick. They had some business going on. Shit ain't go right. I'm still trying to mediate that shit right now, but it's a work in progress. Man, we might have to do like you know what you gotta do, Cam? You gotta set up a face-off. You gotta start having face-offs and have these people hash it out in front of each other. That shit gonna go up.
Yeah. I mean, that would definitely, you know, if you got both people who are willing to do it, yeah.
They willing to do it. I'm the politician.
All right, well, you know, one of the things that happened since our last interview is Lil Durk went to his bail hearing and he was looking like he might get bail.
Right.
Oof.
But they came out and said that he didn't put up enough money and basically that he would have to go broke for them to allow him out of jail. They wanted his houses, his intellectual property, like his music he had to put up. Like every dollar would have to be put up for Lil Durk to get out.
This is why as a rapper you shouldn't brag about owning your own masters, because they know every month that streaming check 200,000-300,000, and with them murder for hire cases, you know.
How high is his bail?
So they turned down a $4.5 million bail package.
Wow.
So you know when we seen them turn down Diddy's bail package, which put up a lot of big mansions and cash for collateral, you gotta know they're gonna do the same thing for him.
Facts.
So the problem is they're trying to use his lyrics in the case, and when it comes to them murder for hire charges, that's gonna get the prosecutors all of the leverage they need to keep you locked up, because if they let you out, you on here telling everybody that you pay this person for this, and you got people telling on them.
I thought they technically couldn't use that anymore, though.
Technically, they're not supposed to be able to use that.
But no matter, it's the feds, right?
It's the feds, you know, they write the rule book. At the end of the day, Durk is in a tough spot. And I feel like the onset of social media pressures and real life situations puts guys in a predicament where they feel like they don't want to see certain comments being left on their photos and videos, so they take action. Unfortunately for Durk, it's gonna be an uphill battle, because they say they got corroborating witnesses who wore wires against him, and they say they got 20,000 hours of surveillance and documentation in the case. This is why in the Rolling 60s indictment, we say Big U say he's gonna represent himself, simply so he can see who's telling, so he can see the full discovery. And after he sees that, then he's gonna retain legal counsel again. The situation with Durk, I feel like the DJ Academics interview he didn't help him at all. when they made a comment saying, yeah, they say I ain't slide for Von, I think they trolling me. Then we see guys like Brick Baby on the No Jumper on the No Trouble Fedcast implicating him in a murder. That's hard to get past. And you gotta think about it. We still trying to figure out who confidential informant number 4 is, who gave the location to where Quando Rondo was gonna be. Unfortunately for him, he's in a tough situation because all of the information is not being made privy to him. And I know this from my own experience. When they named me in this Diddy lawsuit, it cost me $15,000 to retain Ed Zappia as my lawyer. You can ask Brian. That same law firm was trying to get me on an interview. They offered a real high amount of money for me to do an interview with them so they can get information. We turned it down. 2 days later, they get this lawsuit amended, and now they got me in it. At the end of the day, when you have a lot of money and resources, you can get creative.
Yes.
The problem is, they tried to use different law firms to discredit my credibility, but in this case, they can't do that because the people that's against Dirk is his own homies who was wearing wires. That's why it's tricky. This is why I always try to tell the young guys, well, the streets is not worth it, And if the crack era came back tomorrow, all of these guys was saying they wouldn't do this, they'll be right back selling crack again. And that's the problem because they use entertainment and media to control the masses. Hip hop used to be for freedom and rights. Somehow it turned into the oppression of our culture. I feel like people making Chicago culture a worldwide phenomenon was by design because my city is very dangerous. We resort to violence for the smallest confrontations. And I never understand this whole having a squabble thing. Because where we come from, we only fight our brothers. We only fight our homies. Like, we not finna fight nobody that we don't love. If you're not one of us, it's gonna be graveyard circumstances for you. And I'm glad people are able to see the differences, but nevertheless, we all lose. Dirk got 10 children. If he's not around, that's a lot of broken homes. All because trying to live up to this bullshit street culture and street rules. I think it's asinine. I think it's egregious. I feel like there's a plot to destroy, and whoever set it in place is winning. For sure. Skirt. I'm like the book of Eli with this shit. Oh no.
What do you think about Little Pop's mom coming to court testifying and saying she fears for her life? And one of the reasons is they feel like the little Dirk will be able to use his influence to be able to get people to do something to the witnesses.
The first time they got into it after Von's death, that side showcased, bragged, and boasted about this capability. You seen 600 Breezy in them posting with stacks of money on top of their head, saying we buying all the tickets to their shows. All of these type of things was taking place. Did he call people, tell them to stop it? No. All of those things were screen recorded and being used by law enforcement. Let's look at the Young Dolph situation. The internet has solved the case long before the law enforcement did. In the Rolling Sixties indictment, they said they have hundreds of hours of no jumper footage that they used in the indictment. If you are operating in an illicit business, committing crimes, you probably shouldn't be broadcasting any of your music on the internet because the outcome seems to remain the same, right or wrong. Look at the situation with Swifty Blue. Swifty Blue, they lock up 19 people because he's out here carrying on, and in that culture, they seem to police themselves. Now you got 19 people from the Mexican Mafia getting arrested for what? Murder for hire. The same thing happened with EBK J-Bo. Murder for hire. What do they talk about in the songs? Oh, I'm gonna put a bag and they gonna do this. It's the same thing. We're watching artists say what they're gonna do and then get charged for it. There should be a change in the culture here, right or wrong?
I hear you. Yeah.
So now, we watching it over and over. The cycle of destruction continues to repeat itself. There's nothing new under the sun. Time is linear. Everything is happening at the same time. If you're into quantum physics. I'm into that.
It's a rabbit hole.
Definitely.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on Aaron the plumber saying that he called the police on Whack 100?
Wack threatened to kill his mama, making terroristic threats on the internet. He should get him locked up. This is my thing with this. Him and Loose Cannon can make terroristic threats, do whatever they want, and don't get locked up. Wack is on camera kicking the Jay Reed dude while Loose Cannon pistol whipping him and stripping him.
Hold on. I don't think Whack is on camera doing anything.
There's a clip going viral right now. Shout out my boy Deezy, SBGB TV. The clip is out there. Aaron the plumber, somebody I'm cool with. The whole thing about Wack, that's true, bro. That's all true. I'm gonna be careful how I say that because I'll be careful right now because it's an open case. Aaron want to speak to you. He said that he ran off on the Vlad interview, but he said he'll do your channel. So I'm gonna pass you his number after this. I ain't gonna say too much so he can explain it. That's cool.
Okay.
Bet, say less.
That's cool.
Got you. You my boy, so I got you.
All right. Well, there was some latest drama at No Jumper, man, and 607 Unc and Munchie B were sitting in on a podcast, and I guess 607 Unc has Hoover tattooed on him. I didn't even know that.
That's a fact.
And he says, Hoover, blank remover, a very derogatory word towards the Bloods, right in front of Munchie B. And, immediately Munchie B gets on him and tells him, don't say that. Unc ends up apologizing, but this clip is going viral now, and Munchie B is getting a lot of backlash for allowing that to happen and not crashing out on 607 Unc.
I was supposed to come do Capone in California, right? Remember that? The thing is, but I'm not for sale. So when Adam and Unc had sent the money to book me, I'm finna zero their ass like I did. That's why we say Unc on that mad because I didn't show up. This is what the dude, Agent 22, wants to happen. Like, bro, Unc have no filter. The man, Unc is crazy. Like how we all chilling right here, Unc could be laid on the floor talking. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? He got that cup with like wax and all type of poison in it. He's drinking it. Nothing wrong. Nothing happening to him. And that's why I try to tell people, bro. Like I'm not a character. Like I'm not in character. I'm not a content creator. This is my real life. So I'll never go on No Jumper, bro. So when they sent the money, yeah, I took that shit and told them, F them. Period. Long live crack star. I'm in full crack mode. You would get zeroed. Talked real crazy about Adam just for Adam offering him a job and he took it. I feel perplexed and astonished and angry if people don't take me seriously. And I feel like Unc wants to be taken seriously, and I don't think that was a good move for him because who's got rich from being on No Jumper? Who blew up from being on No Jumper?
Adam's kind of blew some people up before, yeah, he's did some, yeah, man. There's a lot of people who made a name on No Jumper. I'm not gonna take that from Adam.
Okay, I'm asking just a substantial question.
You want some names? Well, AD was popular before No Jumper, but he became popular as a host.
Right, but
as a host, very much so. People tune into his content. He got his content start on No Jumper.
Yeah, I'm not taking it away from him, but he's learned the value of this soap opera, beta male, Zest Monster, questionable activity and drama. And, you know, is not no coward. You know, he'll start up some problems. Was on there before. He had the same type of interaction with DW Flame. Adam knows that. So he's gonna put people in certain positions to create this type of content for him. He will put other people at risk and not himself.
Monetize their drama.
He monetized their drama. So, you know, I watched the clip. He's telling 607 Unc, you better be careful. Before we do anything, I'll give you a full briefing, right? Why you not gonna give him a full briefing about it? You know, and at the end of the day, knowing them, they probably all put that all together. You know, they probably all coordinated that. Let's take it back to the fight between AD and China Mac. Everybody thought it was real. Adam, the one who come out and say that it was fake. That hurt China Mac a lot. China Mac relocated overseas because Vlad was pissed at him because Vlad thought it was real. This guy's a chaos agent that they all fall for. The fat man never will, and I stand on real business. No amount of money was gonna have me sacrifice my moral compass and what I believe in. Point blank, period. You gotta stand for something or you fall for anything, and Unc is dealing with that right now. So now. These are the facts. But we get wild with anybody. So now.
Well, recently Meek Mill responded to all of his allegations and
What'd he
said
say?
that the only thing that he ever seen at a Diddy party was coke vibes.
I gave TMZ a video of Diddy coming out collecting everybody's cell phone. And then the guy that's matching clothes with him says this, he probably should say that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like Meek Mill, remember that shit I showed you that he was on there buying dildos on his page? Remember that? That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, so how can we get mad at CNN for sensationalizing something? Everybody's trying to do the no jumper effect. Clicks for drama to pay the bill. That's why I charge exorbitantly. Because if you're going to say my name, you got to pay the fee. The man Meek Mill needs a publicist. If he have a good publicist, none of this happens to him. I don't believe Meek Mill is a complete zest monster. like the guy Tyler Perry and Diddy and all of these dudes. I just feel like he needs to change his trajectory and who he aligns himself with. I'll say that.
Dreams and nightmares couldn't come from come on now. Don't be telling me that.
Bro, the man's look. I've been around the MMG guys, like when Adrian Broner came around, they all said he was a clown. So, you know, like Adrian Broner went and got all his MMG chains made himself. Ross ain't giving them chains. They was kicking it with him though. Whole time saying he a goofy. That's the industry. Phony kicking it and lame shit. That's what it leads to. That's what it leads to, bro. So us as black men need to stop acting like Bufords, get off the smoothie activity and stand for some shit. Come on, man, I'm not wearing no matching shirt with a man. Dummy?
It wasn't a good look.
That's goofy as hell. So no. He wouldn't do a song with Rocky Fresh because he said Rocky Fresh wasn't the street. What's that guy do anything? He make y'all sign to the same label. But you over there hanging with the Zest Monster. You over there with the diddler. Watch out, man.
What do you think about Diddy? Somebody testifying that Diddy always had a gun in case he ran into 50 Cent.
He got arrested with defaced firearms. He got arrested with cocaine, ecstasy, and Tusi. At the end of the day, bro, like I told y'all, bro, he's a tough cake toucher, man. He's not no pushover. Fool a gangster with it. He not going. He don't like Fifth, though. He don't like Fifth, though. I mean, shout out Monster 50 bodyguard. You gonna meet him. At the end of the day, bro, you probably should have a gun for Fifth. Because 50 get wild on bro.
Now, doing some research, I came across a video, you know what I'm saying? I remember seeing it when it first came out, but I wanted to ask you, man, you know, the headline says, Big Homie CC grabs his gun mid-interview after heated argument with 607 Unc.
Yeah. You know, what had happened was we was having a heated argument, and then somebody started coming through the door. And I said, who that coming through the door? Ain't nobody have an answer. And then Unc started pissing me off. So, you know, the same thing I'm in the Diddy lawsuit for happened that day. I had to and see what was going on. You know, I fuck with Unc, but he pissed me off sometimes. Like, I don't play them little comments about any type of funny behavior toward a female, but I don't like that. I'm never gonna go for that. And he was making me mad. And you know, like, Unc be in character, but I'm not in character, bro. So, you know, I apologize afterward, but I had to have a little show of force. Shout out Unc though. But yeah, they was pissing me off and I didn't know who was coming through the door. And I be outside by myself a lot. So, you know, I had to let them know that it can get dangerous on the gas.
Now you're in the middle of this interview. You know, were you expecting that? Were you surprised?
You know, but I'm always ready, so I don't have to get ready.
Stay on point.
We stay on point at all times, and at that point, I had just met Unc. I ain't know him or his people, and you know, they was moving kind of funny. I feel like I did what I was supposed to do. He got the footage of me pulling the gun out and shit. He got it, you feel me? You can probably ask before he get it to you. I'm licensed to carry and all that type of shit. I can't get in no trouble, so it's kind of like, he got the footage. You want me to get it for you?
I mean, if you want, I would take it. Yeah, for sure.
All right, I got you. If you make that the last question, I'll get it to you tonight.
Well, we're on the last topic. I don't know. I don't want to say last question. You know, I'd like to stretch this topic out for a few more minutes, and then I'm done.
All right.
When it comes to situations like that, do you find yourself having to do stuff like that very often?
More often than you think. You know, I live in my truth, bro. Like, I don't be sugarcoating it or hiding shit. You know, if I feel a certain type of way, I'm gonna stand on that business. I'm not gonna leave it up to you or anybody. You know, cause if I got my loved ones around, my mom expecting me to make it back home. So if that means I got to give you graveyard circumstances, that's just is what it is.
Tell him.
You feel me? Like, you know, I'm gonna shoot first and ask questions later. I'm not scared of hell or jail. So, you know, and I walk in the light. So if I hurt you, you was really doing some bullshit. But me and Unc cool now though. We got a good rapport. I ran off on him and Adam though when they tried to pay me to come on No Jumper. I took their money and zeroed them. I ain't show up. You feel me? They kind of pissed off at me about that, but they be all right. Get somebody else to play. Yeah, get somebody else to play circus that game. I'm not that guy.
So what exactly is, you know, your thing about not going on No Jumper or, you know, not being, you know?
I don't phony kick it. If I hate you forever. Like, I don't like them. I don't like what they stand for. They don't respect women up there. They don't respect nobody up there. They just here for drama and lame, goofy shit. You know, I'm not known for that. I'm known for being a man. I'm famous for being articulate. And, you know, I'm in all of these lawsuits for standing on business, protecting ladies, being a gangster. You know, like, when it comes to them, I just don't respect them, the platform, nobody up there. And they talked a lot of shit, but when I seen all of them, they was ducking, running, and hiding. So like, I don't respect the platform, I don't respect its owners, and I'm not for sale. You know, I'm a lot more serious than anybody up there. You know, I'm not to be played with, and I like to play. Adam got me blocked. Why you giving Unc money to pay me to come on there? You got me blocked. That's lame to me. Why you not asking me the questions Cam asked me to have us go viral? Why you still in Cam Capone questions? That's lame to me. You know, I hate all of them. I have severe disdain for them. You know, I don't really trust myself to be around them, and if they trust me, they foolish. You feel me? I'll spray hydrochloric acid in your face, man. I did Krav Maga for 3 summers. You feel me? I'm gonna gouge your eyeballs out, man. You feel me? I'm gonna try to really hurt you. And like, they do a lot of things for clicks. I'm not doing shit for clicks. I really come outside and get busy, so it is what it is. But I'll never go on No Jumper. I'll never be cool with Adam. And, you know, I'm not giving none of them their money back. They can get up with me in the street. So now.
All right, well, BH, I appreciate you taking the time.
Appreciate you, brother. Thank you, Kim. Thank you for always answering my calls and coming through when I need you, because it be getting crazy. It be getting crazy.
What's up? This is Cam Capone. We got more content like this coming soon, so hit that like button, subscribe, and stay locked in to Cam Capone News.